Hello and welcome to The Secret Mind. Today we're going to try and mix hypnosis and medicine. We're going to look at a paper that's just come to my attention in my email today. I'm going to quickly summarize the salient bits of it for you, and then we're going to try to instantly use that information to try a hypnotic treatment that will cover all the conditions mentioned and referred to in the article. How does that sound? Here we go. Now, this is the article. It looks as though the person who's wrote it has swallowed a dictionary, and this is the title: A Transdiagnostic Network for Psychiatric Illness Derived from Atrophy and Lesions. So this is a study that's just been recently published online on the 12th of January 2023. And the claim is that the psychiatric disorders share neurobiology and co-occur. Now, they've done a study of nearly 200 studies, and they found that the atrophy, the wastage, the wearing down of the parts of the brain occurs in the same kind of territory as it does in psychiatric conditions as it does in neurological conditions. Now, where does that leave us? For years, we've known that psychiatric illness is largely a spectrum rather than lots of discrete different conditions. That's maybe why they get renamed so frequently. But this study is looking at the CT results, or this is the more complicated mapping of the brain with what they call convergent network topography, all these lovely coloured pictures. And they're focusing on these parts of the brains that are often implicated in hypnosis, as well as in other mental health conditions, as well as in neurological conditions. Here's the jargon: the insula, the anterior cingulate, the posterior cingulate, the left frontal pole, the parietal cortex, lateral occipital cortex, brainstem, dorsal attention regions of the cerebellum. What they're saying is there's a network of stuff that all these things subscribe to. Now, if you had a treatment that would target all these areas, then you would be quids in, wouldn't you? So they're highlighting this as what they're calling a transdiagnostic treatment, or the possibility, producing the possibility for transdiagnostic treatments. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Transdiagnostic treatments. It's not a diagnosis. They are treatments. But a treatment that can be used on a wide range of different areas of the brain that are displaying atrophy, wear and tear. Now, do we know a treatment that could do that? Do we know a therapy that could do that? Well, how about hypnosis? I'm not claiming it's going to cure any of these conditions, but what about a network enhancer that would treat all these networks and more universally with the same treatment that doesn't have side effects? So why would that not be worth trying if that would smooth out the waves in people who are suffering with mental health problems? Why would that not be part of a standard treatment approach alongside other medical or surgical or more drastic processes? So let's try it. Let's assume that we've got a process that can connect into those areas, and let's describe it and give it a metaphor. Now, if you've got atrophy in a condition, if you've got wastage, you might look yourself at what you can do for your brain that will help it to heal. And one of the things you can do is stop bathing it in poisons all the time. Now, I did a video a couple of weeks ago on memory, how to improve your memory. That was just the usual things. Don't smoke, don't drink too much, eat healthy. And the good thing about that study is it demonstrated how doing all these things globally had an incredible input, increasing as life goes on, and also the potential percentage of improvement was better as time went on. In other words, it's never too late. It's not just never too late. Too late is almost the best time to try. So there's no excuses. So let's just relax into that now and look at something that you might wish to treat and change, and think about how you're not going to allow your brain processes to atrophy. You can think about that as well as I can. And if you want to enter into a hypnotic territory to think about that, take a deep breath. Find a comfy chair. Put your feet on the ground And let's just do that for a few minutes. So let's take the pace down. This is now a session where, yes, we mentioned some medical evidence, but how quickly can we turn that medical evidence to practical help that you can install immediately into your body? How quickly can you take advantage of what is known to change your life? Can you do it instantly? Will you do it now? Will you come back? Or will you wait for 10 years for this to be reported on a morning magazine program when it was already known? Even when aspects of it were already suggested to you. When deep down that you knew what was necessary. And as you realize that you know where you're heading and what's necessary to live the best, longest and healthiest life, look up as high as you possibly can and keep looking up into the top of your head, and then as slowly as you can allow your eyes to close now. And as you do, you'll notice a wave of relaxation going all the way down your body. Just unlocking your shoulders and your elbows and your arms, shaking off the stiffness of the day, the too much time in a chair, too many jobs to go for a short walk or take some deep breaths. If you found yourself too busy to even stretch or breathe or relax, you can take that time now. Nobody needs you right now. You just need to be here and allowing your muscles to know they can relax. No tension is required. You can just let all that go. Let it go now. Unless you're waiting for something else. Just let it go now. Let it go on its way as you take an even deeper breath in. And let it all out again. And we're going to set your mind, your conscious mind or your unconscious mind. It doesn't matter where you are yet. It doesn't matter whether you're good at going into trance or you're not. None of this matters. Your response is correct, whatever is required. And then remember this new bit of research, supposedly new, although it confirmed other stuff, was talking about atrophy. Atrophy, that word, medical word. Wastage. Disuse, isn't it? That's what atrophy is. And you can prepare as you realize that to take a deep breath in to the count of 4. Hold it to the count of 4 and let it out to the count of 4. So here we go. Deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it there. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3. Breathing out any anxieties. And when you're ready, breathing in calmness. And allowing that to whirl and swirl around your body. Activating your body. Letting it know you recognize its power as its own healing machine. Letting it know that you're aware that parts can atrophy if they're not paid attention to. All parts of our lives. And we need all parts of lives to be complete. Sometimes the things that atrophy are relationships or friendships. Sometimes they're old hobbies. Previous skills that you learnt as a child and have half forgotten. But they're still there, waiting to be reactivated. Waiting to be practiced. Because practice makes permanent. There's a brain full of fresh starts waiting for you. And there's bits that have been neglected. Why not think of parts of your brain as a delicate flower? Picture it. The colour, the petals, the fragility, the beauty. Enhance that in your mind. Because these researchers claim there's areas of your brain where that delicate flower is dying. But you know that doesn't need to be the case. A flower can be starved for a time, and it will wither. But in the human mind, that flower can regenerate. It's never been short of water or salt or nutrition. It's just been short of attention. Your attention, which you can direct anywhere you wish, anytime you wish, is your superpower. You can restore those relationships with a phone call or a text or a birthday message that's something other than happy birthday. You can make an effort, not because it'll be rewarded, probably won't, just because you can. Drop those super powerful bombs into people's lives and wake up parts of their brain. You can do it for them. Who knows? They might return the favour. Or you can pick up an old set of knitting needles and an old paint you used to use, an old musical instrument, and you can reactivate all those delicate flowers whenever you want to. And though they may seem inaccessible at first, the truth is they're waiting to be revived. They can survive a drought for a while, and you can revive them or replace them. You can replant. Sometimes drastic change is needed. A full replanting, and being brave enough to do it. And what's the outcome? Different beautiful flowers. A period of loss where you have to say goodbye to the old ones. That's okay. You can thank them for the time they spent with you. And keep moving on. That's all okay. Cry on anniversaries if you want to. But not every day. These are all part of us, part of our experience. The atrophied part of our brains and the active ones. And we need to focus more on the ones that give us some pleasure. Make some good chemicals and send them around our body so that we can feel it. In our hearts, in our feet, in our ears. Feel it in every silly part of our body. Because we can. And when we feel it, it comes out of us. It exudes and we can pass it on to other people. With a smile, a word, a silly laugh, a stupid joke. And you can deliver that universal gift. Just as you can be open to receiving it. Seeing the funniness in things and not overjudging people who differ from what you think your views are. Or you could change your views. See how that feels. And where it feels. It might feel good. These delicate flowers live in our minds. And they can help give us the calmness that illness and mental health problems can take from us for a time. But it's not all about medication. Sometimes it's about an inner self-control that you can rehearse and practice by revisiting this. And practice, remember, practice makes permanent. So relax for a few seconds and just ask your unconscious mind to make any adjustments it needs to give you a smoother journey, to give you a little bit more peace, a little bit more pleasure, and a little bit more of you and what you can bring to the world, given the opportunity. And when your head hits the pillow tonight, your unconscious will keep searching for the ways it can do that. To let go of anxiety, and to bring calmness and adventure and excitement and opportunity and pleasure, opening every door for yourself and when you have the energy for others. Start that process now. And take another deep breath that will fill you from head to toe. That's right. In a moment, I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. I'm going to wake up refreshed, and your subconscious mind will have its homework for tonight. 5. Starting to get some movement in your fingertips. 4. Taking a deep breath in now, getting some fresh oxygen in from head to toe. 3. Just getting some movement in your shoulders. 2. Just trying the full body back onto size. 1. Deep breath, opening your eyes. Feeling wonderful. Knowing that you can install these things, know that you can revive these flowers whenever you want to, whenever you need to. Just as you can give flowers to others. That's it. Revisit this when you find it useful, when you need it. I'll see you tomorrow.